We call him Zeke. He's one of the happiest boys in the whole world. But it wasn't always that way. You see, when Zeke was still in the womb, he was diagnosed with only having half of a heart. But we decided to stick it out with him and love him no matter what. And boy, was it ever worth it.
Say love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You see, growing up, Zeke couldn't be around other kids because he could get sick and come down with pneumonia and possibly die. So we decided to be his best friends, and we had so much fun together. We did everything with Zeke. He was our best friend. He was the blessing in our family that we had always looked for. And even though he had been through 6 surgeries by the age of 1, 2 of them being highly invasive open-heart surgeries, we loved him all the more. In the eyes of Daddy and Mommy, Zeke was the most beautiful thing in the whole world. He was a blessing and not a curse, and we felt so privileged to be his parents and to be the ones to help him through all these trials and pain. As Zeke would get older, I taught him about his Creator, and I taught him that he was the only one who could give Zeke strength. And boy, did he ever. But not only did God give Zeke strength, but Zeke began to give us strength, that anything was possible to those who believed. And as the days and the years went on, Zeke got stronger and stronger. And then all of a sudden on March 27th, 2014, as Zeke played on his iPad at the kitchen table, his heart stopped, Zeke went into cardiac arrest, and he passed away. Zeke's body laid there motionless. His body was there, but his spirit was gone. Zeke was no longer with us. The 911 lady on the phone told me to try CPR, so I did, and miraculously, 4 or 5 minutes into it, Ezekiel Warren Smiley, my boy Zeke, started breathing again. CPR had miraculously brought him back to life. As the paramedics got us settled in and we went into the ICU, the doctors were optimistic, and sure enough, the next day when Zeke came off life support, he was back to normal again. Somehow, our wonderful hero and our champion, little Zeke, he was back. Zeke seemed to be able to endure anything. At this point in his life, he had already endured 12 surgeries, 3 of them being highly invasive open-heart surgeries. And now he had overcome a near-death experience. Nothing seemed to be able to hold Zeke back. But little did we know that Zeke had actually suffered a fully global hypoxic ischemic brain injury, and that every moment of every day his brain was quickly going out. For 4 or 5 days, we had no idea what was going on. The doctors had told us that everything should be fine. I remember the last meal Zeke ever ate. I remember his last joke he ever said, and I remember the last word he ever spoke. By the 7th day, Zeke was back on life support, and the doctors told me surely this was the end of the road for Ezekiel Warren Smiley. The body's 2 main organs, the heart and the brain, had taken devastating blows. The doctors urged us to call all of Zeke's family and friends so we could be sure to tell Zeke our final goodbyes. And something deep down inside of us told us that Zeke had made it through before, and that somehow he was going to make it through again. So we decided to call our family and friends all right, but it wasn't what the doctors had expected. Almost 100 people had come together that night to pray for Zeke, and the next morning, when they took Zeke off life support, somehow, Zeke was breathing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Our road to redemption has not been easy. My hope is that as you read this book, you will realize the same thing that Zeke has taught our family, that life is never worth giving up on, and that your current situation does not, in fact, control your future.